Hi, I'm Ricky Fort and welcome to the Real Estate 101 podcast. Join me as I lift the lid on the real estate industry and share some great stories from behind the scenes. Like and subscribe and enjoy this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Real Estate 101 brought to you by Ricky Fort at Geelong Real Estate Co. That's me, by the way. Today, very special guest, my main man, 3 votes, Lachlan Wilson. Welcome, Loch.
No, thanks for having me. Best birthday present I could ever get.
Yeah, so it's Lockie's birthday today. We may get into eating some cake on camera. We'll see how that goes, mate. But obviously the name of the show is Real Estate 101. It's all about spicy stories and and just a different side of real estate that's not facts and figures. And I think people would love to hear your story. We're pretty different, you and I, but we're also pretty similar in weird ways.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. So, mate, without further ado, we'll get into it. So, Matt, I want to take people back, get a little bit personal about your story, because I think where you and I are similar is that I'm, what would you say, very self-driven, motivated and stuff, which is definitely what you've got, but we get it from different places. So probably just start out with, say your age, like where you grew up, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'm 22 years old today. Happy birthday to me. Grew up in Geelong. I've probably moved house about 15 or so times. So I
definitely want to get into that.
I don't really have a home suburb or anything like that.
Yep.
Went to primary school in Herne Hill. So mainly around those sort of Herne Hill, Belpost Hill, Bell Park.
Yep.
Sort of areas, and then just moved around ever since.
Yep. So I think that is a pretty exciting part of your story, just that you have moved around so much. So go a bit deeper on that.
Yeah. So my mum had me pretty young. She was 18 at the time. So we, for the first 5 or 6 years of my life, we were in commission homes.
Yep.
I think we moved around 3 or 4 times by the time I was probably 6 or 7 years old.
Yep.
Just have kept moving ever since, just trying to make ends meet, my mum.
Yep. So on your mum, obviously, excuse me, one thing for me is talking about the show and my background and my motivation is was a big part, you and I spoke about it, was my dad. So my dad was really pivotal in my life, and he bought his first house at 18, paid for it by 21. He always used to say stuff like, you'll never do that as long as your ass points to the ground. And so our parenting styles are, pretty different. And he was really pushed me, I guess. So my drive, my background, everything like that comes from competition and trying to outdo my old man. So without going too deep, but that's kind of where it starts. But you're different because I'll let you tell your story, but essentially – that's not part of your family DNA before you, and you're looking to do some things. But I guess tell people about where your motivation comes from, because real estate's it's a hard job. So tell people a bit about where you get your burning desire, because you can't do this job without a genuine burning desire. So tell people about that.
Probably stems from growing up, and you kind of don't know what you have until you've, grown up and learnt other things. So you kind of just like everyone's the same type thing. Especially growing up, you're just like commission homes is normal.
Yep.
Which isn't the case for a lot of people. So my mum was a single mum, so I didn't have my dad growing up. So that's probably motivation is to, you just want to have what you never had growing up, I guess. That's not a knock against my mum or anything. She was trying her best, and I love her to death. I think it's just growing up for generational wealth. I don't want my kids to go through what I had to go through. Obviously, people go through a lot worse. I'm not saying, I was the worst or anything like that.
And you didn't grow up in the ghetto. And let's not overdo it.
I wasn't up in gangs or anything like that. But I kind of just, like I said, you don't know what you have until, there's others that, are getting much, even talking about birthdays.
Yeah.
You'd probably get one present or, something very, very small.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the same all growing up, even, till now. I'm not getting, anything special.
Yeah.
But you you speak to your friends and, they're getting, cars for their 18ths and all that type of jazz, which I'd never really had anything handed to me like that.
Yeah.
I kind of had to earn everything that I've got.
100%. And I think we often talk in our office about, the 5 people that you hang around is like, show me the 5 people you hang around, I'll show you your income, stuff like that. For first-time listeners to this, for the podcast, there's lots of great puns like that. But essentially, what do you think, does that resonate with you, that saying? And because it's really big for us, like, I personally think Jess Templeton's going to be, or she's already on track to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest female agent in Geelong. And I know her, aspirations are significantly bigger than that. She's got, hopefully she doesn't mind me saying, we can edit it out, but she's doing quite well with her investment portfolio. She's, doing well with crypto and all that sort of jazz. But
no one's doing well with crypto, mate.
Yeah, well, better than me anyway. So, yeah, and obviously Cal comes from small business background, and he's doing well, and I'm trying to do what I'm doing. So I guess, do you feel like that's something?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big believer in, you are the average of at least the 5 people you hang around with.
Did you get that from me?
You can take it.
Yeah.
But even coming from before here, I was working at another real estate agency, and I'm not saying anything terrible about them, but they weren't a high performing agency. They weren't volume selling. They were probably just stock standard average real estate agent selling 20 homes a year.
Yep.
And I just saw more in myself. I wanted to get more out of myself. And just push myself as hard as I can go. So I thought a change is for the better of my future.
Yep.
And haven't looked back ever since.
Before we get onto real estate too much more, I want to talk a bit more about your journey. So I think what some people might know about you've had 2 jobs or 3 jobs for a long period of time, and hopefully you don't get embarrassed about it, but you still got a second job.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you have a second job?
I started at the start when I was 16 years old. I had 2 jobs. So I started as a lifeguard and a referee.
Yep.
And then transitioned to Woolworths. So I was working 3 jobs at the time.
Yep.
And that just goes back to just trying to help out my mum as soon as I could. So, paying board, even if it's just like $50 a week, it's just something. And then, ever since I finished school, I went to arboristing. Yep. And then at the same time, I was working as a pizza delivery driver, which I'm still doing at the moment.
Yeah. Shout out to
Godfather's on Minerva Road, best pizza in town. But I still do it today.
Did people get a discount code?
Just use my name. No, I still do.
So why do you still do it?
I just love the people there. I think people and the team that you work with says a lot about the culture is everything. Yeah. Especially for me, I'm a real team guy, and the people there are just amazing, and it just makes working there a million times better. Yeah. And that's why I work there. I just genuinely.
But what about financially? The show's about finance and stuff, right? So obviously, why financially?
Just helping with savings. All the money I try and just live off almost the money that I get there, and just saving everything that I get from real estate. Yep. Obviously, I can't do that anymore. I'm only working 1 night a week there, but I'm just trying to still do very similar things. I'm trying to live off as little as I earn here, and try and earn stuff over there. Just live off that. Yeah,
100%. So in terms of what does your week look like? So you're obviously Monday to Friday 9 to 5, or it's obviously more than 9 to 5, right? Like
I wish it was 9 to 5.
You're known for sleeping though, so let's not.
Come on.
Or maybe it's Jess that's known for sleeping, but so obviously finishing the office at like 6:30. Yep. And then starting at Godfather's at.
Yeah, so especially when I first started, I was still working there 4 nights a week. So from Wednesday to Saturday night. So you'd probably come in here. You start your day at 9 o'clock. Yep. You'd work till 6, and I'd just get changed on my way and start at Godfather's till about 9:30. Yeah. And then go home and try and sleep.
Do it all again. Do it all again. Yeah. It's a bit off topic, but you consider yourself a pretty handy basketballer. I know you're hitting me up for sponsorship for the Geelong team. What's
Geelong United? Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Tell us about your basketball pedigree. What's going on there?
I'm trying my best.
What team are you?
The youth league team. So it's like the one step below the big boys, the big super cats. So it's always the goal, but we'll see how we go.
Yep. True or false? You can dunk.
I have my days. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
When I want to.
Love that. Mate, so finance goals this year, what's happening for Lachie Wilson? And I guess this episode's probably geared more towards people your age, right?
Yeah,
Like, because obviously some of our audience are going to be potentially older, and I know other episodes in the show we're talking about people own multiple investment properties you're yet to purchase. That's coming up for you.
Yep.
Just tell us a bit about what the next year is going to look like for you.
Well, next month I'm going to Europe for just over a month. So
Mykonos, shirt off.
Yeah, sunbathing. Going to Europe. So a lot of not a lot, but some of the savings is going towards that. And then probably in the
why I guess, on a finance podcast and real estate or whatever we're going to call this, but why do you think holidays is important?
Well, one, especially working in real estate, you need a mental break.
Yeah.
Just to take time away and just not think about work, because it's not work, it's a lifestyle. Even when you're not working, your phone's still on, and you're always doing something, whether it be social media or, you get a message from like Jess. Jess will just message me having an idea. So your mind's always just on and racing.
Yeah.
Just a break. And I think the best investment you can do is invest in yourself in a holiday.
Energy. Love that. Talk to, you by no means you still got a long way to go in your career. And we spoke about this the other day coming back from ARIC, where, went to that conference. And one of the things that for me, obviously I started my real estate journey, I was 30 plus. Yep. I'd bounced around, been in a couple of different agencies and stuff like that. But for you, I think the exciting thing is the average demographic in our office is a little bit older than you. But one thing that's exciting is the time to go, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know what the retirement age is, 65 or some nonsense like that. I'm certainly...
It'll be 85 by the time I'm retiring.
That's it. I don't want to be doing that. But I think, for you, the exciting thing, which I hope you feel as well, is that, real estate or any career really is a long game, right? And you got time to get ahead, and to be so dedicated to your craft now. And you realistically, what would you say, 23?
20, 23, 22.
22,
I'm
sorry.
22, yeah.
So, but 32, 42, 52, you got 30 years to do damage.
Yeah.
So I think that's really exciting.
No, definitely. Well, I'm just getting started really, like seriously.
Tell people about your age that mightn't have come from a background of anything, right? Like, so I also think something else, bit off topic as well, but you said how you're the first person in your family to...
Yeah, I'll be the first person in my family to own a home.
Yep.
My mum obviously commissioned homes and renting her whole life.
Yep.
And her mum was the same.
Yep.
So she was in a commissioned home up until probably like 3 years ago.
Yep.
When she moved in with her mum, my great-grandnan.
Yeah.
So I think that's also just trying to break the cycle. Like, you only grow up knowing what you know. And if all you know is living in a commission home, living week to week, obviously that's all you're going to learn. Trying to extend outside that box and just try and forge a new path for generations to come. And if I can help people along the way, like my partner, that's good.
Talk about obviously other people your age and finding motivation to go on and do something else. Like, I love the story about how you said you actually found the real estate career. So
yeah,
people haven't heard that story. Tell
it
quickly.
When I first came out of school, obviously 18, my family friend had an arborist business.
Yep.
If you don't know what an arborist is, they chop down trees and carry logs all day. And I did that for about a year and a half.
Let's be honest, you're not a big fella. So
no, it was
I think
tough.
physical
labor.
labour.
No, definitely not up my alley at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got to a point where, because you're just a casual labourer, you're getting paid the same as 70-year-old mate who's just inching his way to retirement.
Yeah.
He's just staying in the truck all day, and you're out there sweating your ass off. And I was just like, I've got to do something about this. So I literally just went on Google and I just went, what's going to pay me the most money? Not that obviously people go to real estate and it's all about people just think about money straight away, cars, flashy houses and everything.
Nice suit. Shout out to Ballington Estate, by the way. You're looking very fresh.
Thank you. So yeah, I literally just looked it up. I did the course and I just sent my resume to a bunch of different directors and finally got a job. And yeah, it was a rude awakening when I first got in, but I'm here to tell the tale at the moment. And I'm loving it.
I'm big on not getting sued. Full stop. Pause.
Doing well there.
Yeah. On that though, so no name and names or anything like, but
Yep.
we'd been in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a story there for people who maybe mum and dad who want to put their kid into real estate, or the young kids thinking, watching $1 Million Listing New York or whatever, thinking that's a great thing for me. Tell people what it's really like, specifically at the last place you work, about the language and the language barrier and stuff.
Yeah, so basically I was kind of just at the time I was in a rush to get a job in the industry because I just wanted to get a start. If I had my time back, I'd probably take a bit longer to find the right place that best suits me. But in saying that, it was, like, I've learned a few things from there as well. But yeah, I went in and there was 3 or 4 sales guys, all were of Indian descent. And often they'd be not speaking English. So, you'd go into sales meetings and they'll be speaking in another language, and I'm just like, are they speaking about me? Are they speaking about properties? Or like, I'm not really.
That's the worst.
And it's not good, especially when you already feel like a bit of an outsider as well.
Yeah, you're still trying to prove yourself. Your confidence is low.
Yeah, and you're like, I was 19 years old at the time. I already feel like I don't belong. Because the way I looked and everything like that.
What about the mustache?
Yeah.
It's getting thicker.
Yeah.
I have to flash back on old photos from a year ago. It's getting there.
Yeah, I'm trying
and I get it. Like, you're a young kid in a professional corporate environment under, a big brand or a franchise.
Yep.
And people not even speaking English around you. Like, it's the old saying, like, when you get into real estate, a lot of directors are like, here's a desk, here's a phone.
Yep.
Like, let us, sing out if you need me.
Yeah, it was kind of, a lot like that. And yeah, like I said, when you're asking for help, you kind of almost don't want to ask for help because you're afraid of what the response is going to be, especially when they're just openly talking around you in a language you can't understand.
Yeah, it's not a great vibe.
It's just not the place. It was just, at the end of the day, it just wasn't the place for me.
Yep.
And I felt like coming to a workplace that everyone is open and honest and speaking all the time, you just learn things just by people just talking around you, just openly. And I couldn't really pick up anything if I can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah. I guess we've run out of time, mate, but just tell people a little bit as well about kind of what motivates you and what you're trying to get out of this year and the next couple of years.
Yeah, well, like a big motivator is to support my mum and my family and create that next generation for, when I eventually have kids, just to live a good life. I mean, like, I've had a good life. I don't know any different. So I just want to create, just generation. Like, everyone talks about generational wealth, but I'm like really serious on trying to build something for myself. And
are you buying a house this year, or what's the plan?
Well, I'll come back from Europe later in the year. So I think early next year, I'll look at purchasing something with my partner. We've got the dog. We just need the house.
White picket fence to match the what's the dog's name?
Ollie.
Shout out to Ollie. We'll have to put a photo up on the screen of Ollie.
Yeah,
very handsome,
best looking dog in Geelong.
Mate, that's probably it. We'll run out of time for this episode, but mate, just want to say I'm really proud of everything that you're doing and the direction you're going, and keep reading the books, keep investing in yourself, and if anyone, I'm sure you'd encourage people at your age or whatever, if they're looking to get into the industry or just want advice, to reach out.
Oh yeah, you can reach out to me anytime. I'm happy to help.
So mate, without further ado, we better crack into this. Can we get this on camera? What do you think of that, mate? I've flashed out big time. I think this is from Coles. It's a caramel sponge. I think it was $4. So that's what you're worth.
Yeah, that's
as an employee, mate.
Probably fair enough.
Caramel or chocolate? What do you go to?
I'm a sweet tooth, so I both.
Yeah.
At the same time.
More is more.
Yeah.
I get it. Righto, get onto this. Yep. All right, hang on. We've got a cheers. Fuck, made an absolute doozy of this. Cheers. Ching ching. So good. It's a bit like the Hot Wings
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
I think we can go viral with this. Caramel mug cake's the next thing.
Just have cake in your mouth the whole time and just try and just speak the whole episode.
I like it. That's a good idea.